my girlfriend said. My ex will be the spare tire. If you don't agree, then we break up. I said, that's reasonable. Then I called her ex and told him that she only sees you as the spare tire. I think you fit the role, and I will return this to you. I hung up, set my phone down, and smiled. Now it was just a matter of waiting, and watching how long it would take for her to realize she was finally alone. I, 27, was sitting in my girlfriend Meredith's, 25, apartment after a late breakfast at a restaurant she recommended. I was relaxing on the sofa, while Meredith was in the kitchen on the phone. I was thinking about asking her to move in with me. Suddenly, I heard her raise her voice and suddenly become irritated. I overheard her conversation with someone on the phone. Another voice, presumably her friend, came on the phone, and although I couldn't hear the exact words, I got the gist of it. What are you talking about? If you bully him, will he kick you out? Who pays your rent? Meredith laughed loudly, her voice contemptuous, very clear. Oh my God, don't worry. If I leave her, I'll go back to my ex. My ex is so stupid. He thinks we're building a friendship, but I just see him as a spare tire. That statement shocked me more than I thought. My ex was so stupid. The indifference, the pride in her words made my stomach twist. She was talking about Derek, her ex, whom she still kept. She had told me, never cut ties with people who treat you well. You never know when you'll need them. Just then, Meredith walked out of the room. She saw me staring at her. My face had changed color. She laughed loudly. She saw me almost dead. What's going on? Did you hear anything? I took a deep breath and said, I heard everything. My ex is stupid, spare tire. I hear you. She rolled her eyes. You said men are easy. You mean smart? You're just talking nonsense. Always have a backup plan. I got up, went into the kitchen, picked up the phone. I don't like relationships with backup plans. Now your ex is just your main support. I give up. I went on social media, found Derek Morrison. His number was right there on his profile. I called, waited for him to pick up. Hello? His voice was wary. Hi Derek. This is James. I just broke up with Meredith. I just thought you should know, she called you stupid and considered you her backup plan. Her words, not mine. What? Wait, what are you saying? His voice was shaking. She said she sent you flirty texts, selfies, just in case things didn't work out with me. She said men were easy. I wasn't interested in her anymore. You were the most important person now. I could hear him gasping for air. She said that? Word for word, I confirmed. He laughed painfully, then angrily. I waited 2 years, thought we had something. It's not your fault. It's just, now you know. How you handle it is up to you. I hung up, my heart pounding but strangely relieved. I gathered Meredith's things and packed them into 2 boxes. I left them outside the door with a note, yours. Pick them up anytime. Then I waited. And that's when the storm began. Within an hour, my phone was filled with messages from Meredith. Are you crazy? She yelled when I answered on the 16th call. I'm just repeating what you said, I said calmly. I think he has a right to know. I was never your primary plan. She cried, devastated. I knew she realized she had lost control. This isn't my problem. Your backup plan? They can wait. Then I hung up. For the first time in months, I felt like I had regained my composure. But deep down, I knew this was only the beginning. Within hours of the breakfast revelation, my phone wouldn't stop buzzing. Calls, texts, and even voicemails from Meredith kept pouring in relentlessly. James! Pick up, this isn't good. Derek just called and yelled at me. I can't believe you did this. I ignored the first 10 calls, letting them go to voicemail. Finally, on the 11th try, I answered, taking a deep breath. Hello? What the hell is wrong with you? Meredith yelled before I could speak. I was just relaying what you told me at breakfast, I said calmly. You seemed proud of it. I thought Derek had the right to know where he stood. There was silence on the other end, then choked sobs. I don't want Derek. I want you. That's all that matters. I let that hang. 3 hours ago, you treated me like Derek. Your words, your actions, they didn't match what you're saying now. Her voice broke, desperate. But I wasn't serious. I was just joking. I shook my head. You laughed about manipulating him. That's not a joke, it's a strategy. And now you're facing the consequences. Your choice. Then the chaos escalated. Meredith's sister, Natalie, started texting me, asking if I was okay. Then her best friend, Qley. Then her mother, Mrs. Spencer. Messages piled up like a snowball rolling downhill. Mrs. Spencer's texts were the most absurd. James, you need to be the adult here. Meredith is just being childish. Don't make a big deal out of this. I stared at my phone. Childish? She had just admitted to manipulating Derek for 2 years, keeping him on the sidelines. That was not a joke. I replied firmly, detailing exactly what Meredith had confessed at breakfast. I even added a note to Mrs. Spencer. Her advice had taught her daughter this behavior. Now she was facing the consequences. Meanwhile, Derek went full-on attack mode. Screenshots began surfacing everywhere. 2 years of messages, maybe someday, texts, selfies, flirtatious jokes. Within hours, he posted everything on his Instagram story, caption. When you find out you've been someone's backup plan for 2 years, folks, don't be like me. The story spread like wildfire locally. 5,000 views in 3 hours. Meredith called me, sobbing uncontrollably, begging me to fix everything. James! How could you let him do this to me? Let him? I said. I don't control Derek. I just told him the truth. That's it. She wailed, insisting I had ruined her life. No, Meredith. You ruined your own life. I just exposed it. Then calls and messages started coming in from other backup plans. Keith, an investment banker she had been dangling for months, reached out. Ryan and Anthony, 2 other men she had kept on the sidelines while dating me, confirmed she had played the same game with them. By this point, Meredith's manipulation had exploded into a full-blown disaster. The backup team, Derek, Keith, Ryan, and Anthony, created a group chat. They weren't mad at me, they were laughing at the absurdity, comparing notes, and strangely, celebrating their freedom. Meredith's panic only escalated. She tried everything, non-stop calls, frantic texts, even emotional blackmail messages like, I might hurt myself. I immediately contacted her parents and emergency services to check her safety. They confirmed she was okay, just attempting another manipulation tactic. Eventually, her mother recognized the seriousness of the situation, apologized for her daughter's behavior, and toxic advice. Meanwhile, Meredith escalated by sending me a fake pregnancy scare. I calmly replied, citing the timeline and my vasectomy as proof that it was impossible. By now, things had reached peak chaos. Meredith, desperate and cornered, tried to destroy my reputation. She made a TikTok portraying me as controlling and emotionally abusive, hoping for sympathy. But Derek and the backup team quickly countered, posting screenshots and timelines proving her manipulation. The TikTok spread, but not in her favor. Comments lined up against her, and she eventually had to delete it. But the internet never forgets. Her lies had spectacularly backfired. I sat back, watching it all unfold, amazed at how someone who thought herself clever could collapse so completely. And through it all I stayed calm. No dramatic posts from me, no angry words. Just the truth, quietly communicated. 3 weeks had passed since the brunch gate, and Meredith's desperation had reached a new level. I hadn't spoken to her directly, but the storm of emails, texts, and calls kept rolling in. Then one afternoon, I opened my inbox and saw it, a fully formal, very serious email with the subject line, regarding our recent events. It started calmly, then dove into absurdity. She demanded a public apology for contacting her friends without permission, Compensation for emotional distress, $10,000, couples therapy at my expense, erasure of all evidence, and a fresh start, under her terms. I stared at the screen, blinking. First thought, she's really trying to negotiate our relationship like a corporate merger? I forwarded the email to the backup team group chat. Within minutes, responses poured in. Derek commented, "She's still delusional. She doesn't get it." Keith added, 2 years wasted that could have been avoided if she'd admitted the truth. Anthony joked about a bowling tournament. Ryan just posted a shrug emoji. I took a deep breath and typed my reply. Short, precise, and decisive. Meredith, no. No to any of your conditions. No to forgiveness you've never given me. Your actions, manipulating 4 men as backup plans, speak louder than any excuse. Your reputation wasn't harmed by me, it was exposed by your own behavior. Your mental health is not my responsibility, especially after faking emergencies. I'm done. Do not contact me again. Send. Silence. Perfect, absolute silence. Then small updates began trickling in. Natalie, her sister, texted an apology, saying she had no idea Meredith kept men as part of some twisted game. Carly and a few mutual friends quietly confirmed that Meredith's antics were the talk of the town, but everyone knew who the real victim was. Derek moved on. He met someone at his gym, laughed about the whole main plan joke, and was genuinely happy. Keith started dating someone who jokingly called herself the only plan. Ryan and Anthony enjoyed their newfound single freedom, no more false hope weighing them down. Even the backup team started a friendly bowling tournament, jerseys soon to read, "Not anyone's plan B," on the back. Meanwhile, Meredith retreated to her parents' home, working at her mother's real estate office and spinning stories for anyone willing to listen, painting herself as the victim. She tried menning some of my colleagues, but screenshots ended that quickly. "I'm not anyone's backup or main plan with someone who collects insurance policies," one of them quipped. The ultimate irony? Her mother. Apparently, she had used similar manipulative tactics with her husband decades earlier. Once exposed, they went to marriage counseling and removed all outside male contacts from family and work. Meredith had thought she'd inherited a smart strategy. But now both mother and daughter were facing the consequences of treating relationships like business transactions. I sat back, watching threads, messages, news, and the little waves of chaos she left behind. One simple lesson stood out, clear as day. When someone shows you who they are, believe them. If they laugh about manipulating others and keeping backup plans, run. And if they try to make you the replaceable one, promote their backup plan and demote yourself to stranger. And yes, Derek really is good at bowling. He hit a turkey, 3 strikes in a row, last week. The backup team joked about making uniforms. Me? Finally peace. No drama, no manipulation, no backup plans, just quiet, relief, and the satisfaction that sometimes the truth is the sharpest revenge of all.